We're back. Unfortunately, maybe if you're still here, we appreciate you sticking around. Sometimes we don't want to do these either. This is the Steel Deal. I'm Nick. That's Brad. If you're
Yeah.
watching along, you know that by now. I just want to start this by saying this feels different. We have seen this now for 20 years, right? Mike Tomlin era. We have had some highs and we've had some lows. The past 7, 8 years have been a lot of lows.
Mm.
This feels the lowest.
Just keeps getting deeper.
It be for so many. I think the backbreakers for me. I've never heard the stadium chant "Fire Tomlin" before.
Yeah.
I've never heard the stadium boo Renegade.
Yeah. That's
The players look done.
hmm
Mike Tomlin looks done. He looks sick and tired on the sideline. It it's past the point of anger. It's past the point of sadness. It feels just like ineptitude. It doesn't matter what we do. We said it all week. We are going against backup tackles, and that doesn't strike fear into anyone. We
and
knew
it's
exactly what would happen, and it was worse.
sadly I was like that doesn't mean anything after the San Diego game. It's like I don't care who's starting on the other team. It's going to be a challenge, and we may not step up to it.
I'm convinced you and I could be the tackles, and somehow we would hold them. And
Yeah.
and the thing is, it's not like the tackles had a phenomenal game. They held their own for the most part, but it's the thing that baffles me is the other team says, okay, our tackles are out. We know those edge rushers are coming for us. We know the rush is coming up the middle too. Okay, let's adapt. Let's change what we do. Let's get the ball out quicker. Let's force them to the side that we know they're weakest at, and let's find their weaknesses and attack it. We don't do that. The Steelers, the Mike Tomlin Pittsburgh Steelers, do not do that. And I think I will officially go on record and say, as of today, December 1st, 2025, I am officially out on Mike Tomlin. I thank him tremendously for 2 decades of success in Pittsburgh, for a Lombardi trophy, for division titles, for everything he's done. And
Mm.
I hope that one day we look back at this era and we thank him for his time. But it's over. It's done.
Yeah.
We got to clean house. We cannot keep doing this. You you're going to Art Rooney is fine. Hopefully, we'll finally hear fans start talking with their wallets and booing the stadium.
hmm
And I think my only hope is with that, we will see changes. Not now. They're not going to happen right now. It'll probably be a early off-season type thing, and they're not going to fire him. I'm hoping it's a Sean Payton situation where they meet, they say, Mike, it's just we gotta move on, man. It's not working. We want to do what's best for you. You retire, right? That's what Sean Payton did with the Saints.
hmm
Sean Payton retired. He had a year to sit back, collect himself, do whatever he wanted to do, still make money, right? And then got to pick where he wanted to go the next year. And then when that happened, the Saints traded Sean Payton to the Broncos. And the Steelers should do that next year with Mike Tomlin because we're not going to fire him.
No, it's going to be a mutual parting of the ways.
Yep.
That allow everybody to save face to a degree, even though we know, you know, it's on. I mean, it came down to coaching. Buffalo, like, okay, we got to work with this. We're not going to let them get after us and blow up our offensive game plan. We're going to play it close to the vest and just keep beating on them, wear them down, outcoach them because that's not hard to do, and we'll win it in the second half.
And they dominated. I mean, I can't believe we went into the half with a lead. Like
Yeah.
it doesn't it that first half of football felt like we were lucky to be in the lead. And then the first drive, Rodgers got sacked,
hmm
and I said, yeah, that feels right. That that felt right. The lack again, the lack of fight from the players. Every single defensive player, -2, I think, deserves to be called out for a terrible performance. You have Cam Hayward, who, when it's all said and done, will be in Canton, will be a Steeler grade. He will be immortalized in Pittsburgh. He has stained his reputation by how he has handled himself this last year with the
Mhm.
contract situation and now the pitiful performance. He has 1.5 sacks this year. You give up a touchdown, and what do? You go and taunt. You go and taunt, and you get a penalty on yourself. What? That's not leadership.
Claims he kneed him in the gut,
Yeah,
which
it's
I don't
football,
know
man.
whether he did or not, but I mean, it's still, I mean, it didn't happen on that play.
Yeah, it's
It's just,
football. Patrick Queen tried to kill Josh Allen. Like it's football.
yeah,
Things happen.
get
You
over it.
have to have composure. I expect that from a rookie. I expect that from a second year guy. I expect it from George Pickens. I
Yeah,
don't expect that from a future Hall of Famer.
that's what was
It,
eye opening for me yesterday was all those unsportsmanlike conduct
yep.
penalties. I was like, he has zero control over this roster now, and it is like blatantly obvious.
Yeah,
It's just
we had no answer for anything yesterday.
what. And when it comes to adjustments, Patrick Queen called them out last week. I'm
Yep.
pulling this up on my phone because Terrell Austin was asked about it in like a written somebody in the media apparently they could submit questions and
Hmm.
they're answered the same way they're submitted. It's on paper. So he was asked about them making adjustments or not making them, how, and Queen's quote saying that, yeah, we didn't make any and we should have. And, his response, there always is, in response to improvements need to be made. There's always going to be things that happen every game that we're not happy with as coaches and they're not happy with as players. But that's why we get back at it every week. Every call is not going to be perfect. Every player is not going to be perfect. And we just have to be able to come out on the right side and make more plays than we give up. And that's really what our focus is. Our guys have been good. They've been good all year. He didn't even answer the question that
No.
they don't make adjustments at halftime or at any point during the game. He deflected and was like, well, yeah, we work on it every week. What do you
Yeah.
work on every week?
What do you work on? Patrick Queen also came out and said, and look, Patrick Queen he's not had a great year. I seriously worry about his long-term future in Pittsburgh.
He's only under contract for one more season.
Yeah,
So,
he is a vocal guy on Twitter, and you can see the passion, and I 100% respect the passion. And he has games where it's like, dang, that dude's a top 10 linebacker in this league.
yeah.
But I also listen when he says things like, I don't know what we're supposed to do. We can't, two linebackers can't cover the whole field. He's right. If you sit there and you watch the film, you can see, okay, Patrick Queen's role is to take the tight end, and he does, and no one's in the middle of the field
Hmm.
because we're still playing cover three, which doesn't work. We do not make adjustments. We do not adjust. I can't think of one time where something has not worked and we're like, we're fixing that.
Yeah.
What was the streak? It's what I don't. It's like 62 consecutive games that the offense has not scored more than 7 points in the first quarter. And that I thought I don't know the exact number. I know it, but I don't know it. They do not adjust. I don't know what they do in practice. I truly do not know what they do. And the fact that every single week a player is saying something about a coach to the media,
Hmm.
I can't even imagine what that locker room is like right now.
Yeah. And Rogers came out after the game. He's like, look, we had a terrible week of practice.
Yeah.
And it showed on the field.
Yep.
I mean,
And it's every week. It's every week that they oh yeah, we didn't do this. Well, how many times did Cam say, yeah, we got to get better. We got to get better. Well, be better. Stop saying we're going to get better and be better.
hmm.
You want to talk about historic defense? There you go. Congratulations. You are a
250
very
yards.
historic defense. You just gave up the most rushing yards in Pittsburgh by a Steelers defense since 1975. Congratulations, guys. I
Hmm.
want to run through. I saw this stat on Twitter and I thought it was eye-opening. So the Steelers' top 10 highest paid players this year, okay?
Oh man, this is gonna sting.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I'm fired up, man. I'm fired up.
Yeah.
TJ Watt is on pace for his worst sack average since his rookie year with a full season of play. Cam Hayward has 1.5 sacks, Alex Highsmith has missed 4 games. Patrick Queen is ranked 75th out of 83 inside linebackers. Aaron Rodgers is ranked 32nd out of 32 quarterbacks. He also was 10 for 21 with 117 yards. Pat Fryermuth has been relegated to barely tight end 3. DK Metcalf has a combined total of 112 yards and 0 touchdowns his last 4 games. Isaac Seumalo is the 41st ranked guard in the National Football League. Darius Slay is not even worthy of a roster spot anymore, and Jonnu Smith is ranked dead last, 38 out of 38 tight ends. Those are your top 10 highest paid players.
Man.
What what do you do? Buffalo ran the same play 51 times.
Yeah.
And the thing is, TJ was pissed about it. TJ shoulder checked someone on the sideline, and he was pissed about it in the post game conference. He's like, he said, I've never seen that before. And I can't even blame TJ for that. He's absolutely had a down year. He knows that. We all know that. But what's he supposed to do? He can't beat the entire scheme by himself. He
Yeah.
can't go against the scheme because if he does that, then someone else has to pick up his slack, and who knows how far they bust it.
Yeah. I mean, you've got Harmon out this week, but still you have other linemen in, and you're playing nickel defense in obvious run situations. Like, what are you doing? You did this against Baltimore in the playoffs last year and got
Yep.
toasted by Jackson and Derrick Henry.
Yep.
And you're playing a nickel D against a team that just keeps running the same play over and over again.
Yep.
Just
Or how many times do we have to sit there and say, oh, it's 3rd and 7. Why are the corners 15 yards back from the line of scrimmage?
yeah,
Like it, the decisions that this coaching staff makes, and that's why for so long, you could say like, all right, well, Tomlin's got the locker room, he's got these guys fired up. I think they're done. I think they're done. We got Baltimore this week in Baltimore. It's Baltimore. Honestly, again, would not surprise me if we won. Wouldn't surprise me if we lost by 38. Miami's won a couple in a row. They're looking pretty decent. Granted, they've not played great teams. And the
mhm,
thing is, if you look back, it's like, okay, we barely lost to the Bears. The Bears are the 1 seed in the NFC right now.
yeah,
Like, there's so many things that it's like, okay, well, why didn't we do that then? I, I cannot think of one excuse for the team playing the way that they have played. It's another collapse. We were what, 4-1 with a 3 game lead, and
hmm
now are we 6-6 or are we 6-7? We
six and
we've
six.
we'd
Yeah,
absolutely blown it. Yeah, because they're joking that the Ravens Steelers game is it's like the Meineke Car Care Bowl or something like that. Two 6-6 teams.
oh my God.
It's just it. And it's funny because the Ravens are 6-6 and they feel good because they were 1-3. They fought back. They're
Mhm.
getting
Oh
better.
yeah, their team's heading in different directions. So I mean, I'm expecting a shellacking. I mean,
The
it may
Bengals
be
aren't even
close, but
the Bengals aren't even far behind us.
yeah. I
I
mean,
think they're
there's
two
just
games.
the coaching staff. There's no pride right now.
No,
None. They're just riding the season out.
yeah, I again, a couple more stats. The Steelers' defensive snaps leads the NFL. The defense has been on the field for 820 plays,
Yeah.
and the offensive snaps are the worst in the NFL, the lowest in the NFL, only 667. On Sunday, the offense had a possession of 1801, which is the second lowest since 1981. The
Wow.
166 yards that we had yesterday are the third fewest of the Tomlin era.
Holy smokes.
I mean, just every single stat. You
Mm-hmm.
got you got former players coming out of the woodwork. James Harrison made a comment. I don't know if you saw that today.
Oh yeah.
He said, "I
Yeah.
never
I've
thought
I've
Mike Tomlin was a
read a
great
few
coach."
quotes.
Yeah, I, but players are going to have their beefs with their coaches. I get it. Mike Tomlin cut him. There's probably some beef there. I understand that. Again, Mike Tomlin is a Hall of Fame coach, but if you're if your excuse for the Steelers, oh, they shouldn't fire him because another team will pick him up tomorrow, that's great.
They can have him.
I mean, I'm not saying it's comparable, but people said the same thing about Bill Belichick, and Bill Belichick's coming off a terrible season in college football.
Oh yeah.
The dude's like 7 wins away from the all-time NFL record, and no one wanted him.
Mm-hmm.
There just comes a time when it's like, hey, we're done.
Yeah.
We're done. And I really hope that Art will make a change this summer. But here's the thing. I don't trust Art to hire the right person.
No. No, I don't.
I truly do. I do not trust him to do the right thing. I don't trust him to move on from a terrible coaching staff, and I don't trust him to hire the right coach. I feel like he would hire a guy who's not probably not qualified, but who will do what he wants. You know, he Rooney doesn't want to pay for extra assistants. So he'll take a coach who's like, yeah, I can work with a smaller assistant coach pool. Like it's just it doesn't work. You have to look at what the teams around the league are doing and how they're building their teams.
Hmm.
And we're doing that from a roster standpoint. We're copying what the Eagles are doing. We're building from the line. And the players that we have, and that's another gripe I have, the players that we have are competent.
Yeah.
They're solid players. So what Omar Khan and Andy Weidel are doing, I get that. I respect that. But the Rams have went all in, won a Super Bowl, had a couple years of meh, and are right back in the Super Bowl race because they were like, okay, we're going to build our roster this way. We're going to invest in coaches. We're going to invest in analytics. We're going to invest in training. We're going to invest in
Hmm.
all this kind of stuff. And that's what these successful teams are doing, and we don't do that. We're getting by because of the logo on the side of the helmet. That's it.
And that's not going to continue to carry. I mean, it's definitely not getting it done now. So
No.
you've got to make changes and you got to, move forward. I mean, it's mind blowing.
Yeah.
I mean, Tomlin has just had too much say over the players that are signed too. I mean, he's like, yeah, I really wanted Jalen Ramsey coming out of the draft. Well, he's been in the league 10 years now.
Yeah.
He wanted Darius probably too. Well, he's 13-year veteran,
Yep.
14-year, whatever. I mean, you you got to keep leaning on the draft. You can't spend all this money on free agency all the time.
Yeah. I saw, and again, someone else's tweet that said Tomlin's going to make some comment like, oh, we're trying to eat soup with forks and we need some spoons in the building or something this week. And then the second part of the tweet was, and then in answer to that, he's going to sign like a 2018 Pro Bowler.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's pretty applicable. And then guess what? Adam Thielen gets released from the Vikings. I'm like, we're going to probably sign him.
Yeah.
Because of course we
I
would.
saw that today that they let him go. Wow. I mean,
Yeah.
I just
It's
wonder
just,
what kind of buttons has he been pushing the last several years to even try to motivate his players? You used to hear about it all the time when he was the first few years he was in Pittsburgh. Do you remember hearing about the news?
what do you mean?
Well, Tomlin called it the news. Every week he had a segment in the meetings what the players called the news, and you either
Hmm.
made the news because you wanted to be on the news or you
Okay.
made the news because you didn't want to be on the news, and it was more or less like a slideshow
Yeah.
where he was highlighting guys that were doing the right thing, and he was also highlighting guys that weren't getting the job done in front of the
Hmm.
entire coaching staff and roster, all in the same room together. And he
Yeah.
called it the news. You want to make the news, but you want to make it for the right reasons.
Right.
Just what kind of buttons does he push anymore? What
Yeah.
is it? I want to play for Tomlin. What is he just great to hang out with because he's not a great coach anymore?
Yeah. And that's the thing. It's like he's not a bad coach. Like if he's not, he just it's like what he did, which was the Tampa 2 defense. He grew up with and Tony Dungy, that was kind of his mentor, whatever. And that worked. That worked. It was a period of the NFL where it worked.
Mm-hmm.
It does not work anymore. We've talked about this, 15 billion times this year. There's nothing. We don't disguise. It's the same thing every single time. And instead of investing and biting the bullet after, I I know it's all retrospect, right? When Ben went down and we traded for Minka. And it worked, we came back and we made the playoffs and we made the playoffs, 4 out of 7. It's great.
Mm-hmm.
We instead that was almost I remember thinking this could be good because we can have a bad year, grab a quarterback, let him sit, and then come out and not need to, invest. And instead we kept band-aiding it, duct taping it,
Yeah.
and here we are. How many years post Ben retirement, and we haven't had a quarterback in 6 years. Like true, 7. You make an argument for 8. We
Yeah.
have not had a quarterback. We are just. It's almost like he just thinks he's smarter than everyone else, and he doesn't have to have a quarterback because he's going to win like it's 1962.
Yeah, you can't do that anymore. I mean, those days are over.
They're over.
I mean, the game's so different now.
They're over. I mean, you have an aging quarterback and he's on his last leg. So what do you do? Okay, you draft a running back in the first round. No, no disrespect to Najee. Najee was a great locker room guy. I enjoyed him as a player. Looks like an amazing dude. I don't fault him at all. He doesn't control where he goes. That pick made no sense.
Yeah.
But Tomlin was like, okay, the whole league's going this way. I'm going this way. And it didn't work. And instead of saying, okay, let's get out of this. Let's get out of this funk. Let's hire a young, innovative offensive coordinator. No, we're gonna shut it down, go jumbo the entire time. With last year a 38-year-old quarterback and this year a 42-year-old quarterback.
Yeah. I mean, it's bad idea on top of bad idea, and it's like they just keep plugging holes in the ship, and eventually it's
Yep.
just going down.
It
And
and
that's
I,
what's
I
happening.
like I said at the top of the show, this feels different.
Yeah.
It it truly just everything that I'm seeing on Twitter from former players, just anyone with an eye on football. It it just feels like this might be the end. And then of course some freaky Tomlin voodoo magic. We're gonna win out and win a playoff game,
Oh,
or
I just
we're gonna
don't
be
want that to happen because we know that, something so bad, like I've said a few times, it's just got to get so bad that Art doesn't have a choice but to do something drastic.
yeah. The only blame, and again, I don't want I. It's tough to fire a coach and not fire the GM, but I don't want to fire Omar Khan
Mm-mm.
because if you look at the draft record, it's pretty good. I
We
mean,
need to
he's
keep
had
him
two.
and Andy around.
Yeah, he's had two full classes. I would like to see a little bit more out of this year. I mean, Derek Harmon's been great when he's in there, but some injury stuff.
Hmm.
Caleb Johnson's been non-existent. Roman Wilson, he's open. If you watch the all 22, he's getting open. I
Yeah.
I don't know what's going on. I mean, it's never going to be perfect. We're not going to get the 70s draft classes. We're not going to get that. I understand that. But they have played well. So the only thing I fault Omar Khan for is the wide receiver position.
Hmm.
It we talked about a couple episodes ago. For a while, it didn't matter. The Steelers would draft a random guy in the fifth round. He'd be an all pro.
Yeah.
It didn't matter. And we haven't had that. It feels like we're taking guys and they don't work out. And we're hoping that someone would elevate and become that wide receiver too, and no one has. And DK is lost. He can't do anything because he's double covered every time. He works best not as a you're running a hitch route or you're running a curl route. He works best as a slant route. Get him in motion, let him go because he's so fast and strong. And we don't do that. We don't throw over the middle. We pretend it doesn't exist.
It's coaching.
It's coaching. And so I don't, it feels like if you look at the roster and you take away the coaches, offensive line getting better, right?
Oh,
Pat
yeah.
Myers, I think he needs to go still. I think if you're going to clean coaching staff, you need to clean coaching staff.
Oh, yeah.
Every position group is decent. It needs some new blood in it, except quarterback needs a quarterback.
Yeah.
You need a wide receiver too. Right, like you need some positions here and there, but we're not an awful roster. If you rank the
No.
rosters 1 to 32, we're not. I would say we're probably like 16.
That's what I almost hate saying, too, because, I mean, it's nice knowing that we have the players that the right coaches could get it done with, but I heard so many times during the early to mid 90s from Raiders fans, we're the most talented team on paper. We just can't get it done on Sunday during the season. It's like, what does that even mean?
Right.
I know what it means now because I won't say we're the most talented on paper, but we do have a talented roster, but they're not getting it done when it counts because of the coaching.
Yep. Yeah, and you've mentioned this countless times. We're paying guys when we shouldn't be paying them. And again, with the TJ and Cam specifically, I don't care about the money. A, because it's not my money. I mean, I don't
Yeah,
care. Pay what you want.
yeah, write your checks. Go
Yeah.
ahead.
B, we don't have a quarterback, so it's not like the money. It's not like we couldn't spend the money on a quarterback because whatever. But when you have these guys who are at or like maybe right at or above average for their age, right? And you're like, well, they're still
Mhm.
playing well. They fit within our system. Let's pay them. Let's go. And then they decline, and you're like, oh man, I can't believe they declined. That's crazy. Who would have thought that you can't do this forever? it makes me just sit there and say, why would we, it hurts. And I was talking to my buddy Matt today about this. Like, we let Joey Porter Sr. go. We let Alan Faneca go, right? There's so many examples of we let that guy go.
Those guys walked. They were cower holdovers too.
Well, they
Tomlin's got
walked,
a habit of hanging on to guys too long, but he let those other dudes
but
leave
think
him.
about it. They walked, right? And everyone's like, "Oh man, why didn't we re-sign them? That sucks."
Hmm.
Well, for most of them, besides Alan Faneca, they had a pretty meh career at their next stop, and then
Joey
came
had
back,
one
and
good
now,
year in Miami.
yeah, they came back, and now they're still fan favorites in Pittsburgh. It's like that
Yeah.
little bit of time that they were not here never existed because we were like, "Hey, it's what's best for the team." So
Hmm.
I'm sitting here and I'm like, man, maybe we should have traded TJ to the Packers for our first round pick
Oh
because
yeah.
they traded two for Micah, so maybe they would have traded one for TJ. Send him home. Send Cam to
Yeah.
Buffalo.
I was
Send
getting ready
Fry
to say I'm not AARP. I don't know who would want him at this
like
point.
send Pat to Kansas City. Like, send these guys and get something for them. If A, they're a little bit past your window of competition,
Hmm.
and B, if you know damn well you're not going to use them.
When they
He is
get,
like the fifth highest paid tight end in the league, and he is tight end three on our roster.
yeah, I mean, when these players hit 30, their early 30s coming out of that second contract, that's when you need to start looking at letting them go test the water somewhere else or,
Yep.
whatever. You can't keep holding on to these guys like they've done for so long.
Yeah, it hurts because we're fans, right? These aren't our families. This is not our life. We are
Hmm.
watching on Sundays, making podcasts, and complaining about it all on Mondays. I understand it's a
That's
little bit
right.
different, but you play for the logo on the helmet, not the name on the back of the jersey.
Yeah.
And it feels like we're not doing that anymore. It feels like we're paying for the name on the back of the jersey, and it's like it's
Yeah,
not
I
working.
mean, it's you're letting the tail wag the dog.
Hmm.
I mean, that's all there is to it. You can't let keep these guys hanging around. I mean, it just. Speaking of player motivation, when I mentioned the thing about Tomlin doing the news, something else. I was talking to a buddy of mine before we jumped on. I can't. I mentioned chopping wood. I was finishing up a guitar lesson, is what it was, and just talking about how the practice he's putting in and
Yeah.
whatnot and how it's paying off. And I was like, "You're chopping that wood," and he kind of laughed. And I was like, "Well, I actually got that because we talk a lot of football too. I got that from Jack Del Rio when he started coaching the Jaguars."
Yeah.
And I didn't realize he took over Jacksonville in 2003 and was there to, I think, 2011. We looked it up while we were on. But he brought a giant stump into the locker room and was using it as motivation to chop wood and had an axe, and the players were chopping the wood each
That's
week to
funny.
keep them motivated. Well, they were doing it until the punter chopped the wood and then chopped his own leg.
Oh my goodness.
I think his name was Brian Hanson or something like
Was it Brian Anger?
that.
Brian Anger was a third round pick by the Jags. He's a punter. He went to Cal. I don't know why I know
I
that.
don't think that. I think it was Hanson was the guy's last name, but I guess he missed and he hit his own leg. And they're like, "Well, we're getting that out. Get it out of the locker room.
Oh my gosh.
Figure out another way to motivate your guys, but you're not chopping wood anymore, man."
Do NFL teams have HR? Like,
Yeah, exactly.
do you go to HR and be like, yeah, my boss made me chop wood in the locker room and I cut myself? I get
Uh-huh.
workers' comp for that? Oh my God, sometimes coach speak goes a little bit too far.
But I use the chopping wood thing when I'm talking about putting the work in. I'll say chopping wood, and that's where I picked that up from. But the story behind it's just, I mean, I'm sure he recovered from it, but
Yeah.
it is a funny story to tell. He's chopping wood and he hits his own leg.
Maybe that's what the Steelers did. They were chopping wood for so long now they've missed and they've hit their own leg.
Yeah.
So there's our analogy.
Something's up in that locker room, and I mean, it's just it's like I don't know what else to say other than there's just a bad fart that keeps lingering in that building.
Yeah. No, and one thing on that, a lot of the outside media has begun to blame Aaron Rodgers because of his comments today. And as two people who were not pro Aaron Rodgers at all,
Yeah.
I don't put that on him at all.
No,
His job is to lead the locker room, and if he wants to call Jonnu Smith out for running the wrong route, because he's probably done that multiple times, and he's
you could see it
probably
on the
said it to
field.
him. Yeah, like I don't care. I saw again. Someone said Mike Tomlin could handle Le'Veon Bell, Ben Roethlisberger, and Antonio Brown in his sleep, but 9 games of Aaron Rodgers, and he's ready to throw in the towel. I'm like, Rodgers has been fine.
One, he couldn't handle Antonio Brown, and neither could he handle Le'Veon Bell, or Le'Veon would have had a great pro career. And
Yeah.
this that whole stupid holdout thing wouldn't have happened, which he's admitted to being at fault for
Yeah.
that.
Also, yeah, it's those guys' fault. Like they're adults. These aren't like 13-year-old kids. But just again, I don't put this on Rodgers. I don't think this is on
No,
Rodgers.
not
Has
at
he
all.
played well? Meh.
No, but
No.
I don't expect him to play well. He needs to. This should be his last year.
Yeah, he's played better than what we've had last year and the year before, which is also a problem.
Yeah, that's
But when Rodgers says something in the media and then Cam gets all pissy about it and says, "Oh, you'll have to ask Aaron." Like, shut up, Cam. Come on, man. You're better than that. You're better. You can't don't whatever happens this year, do not let the outside media come in and tear the team apart. If you're
yeah.
gonna fail as brothers.
Hmm.
Go down, go down with your backs. I don't care if you fought and truly fought every game and you lost. I would respect that more than just laying down and letting it happen and saying,
Hmm.
it's all right. I'm getting a paycheck and I'll go somewhere else next year.
So did Aaron talk to the media about the Jonnu Smith play?
Yeah,
Was he asked about it and he said, yeah, he didn't run the right route?
pretty much. He said, he signaled to him, hey, like whatever, because Rogers is process pre-snap signals, and
Yeah.
we've said this. He asked a lot of his of the pass catchers, and apparently he signaled to Jonnu that route that he missed him. Jonnu was supposed to cut in, and Jonnu cut out,
Hmm.
and he was like he ran the wrong route. He's like, I told him what to do, and he ran the wrong route.
Yeah, there's nothing
So
wrong with that. Even
yeah,
Tony Romo calling the game, he's like, you could see him clearly signal to him. It's not like John, who's a rookie. He's
right,
a 10, 11-year veteran, and he didn't get the hand signal to cut inside where the field was wide open for a
wide open,
touchdown.
wide open. Now again, Rogers
Week
missed some throws.
13?
He, yeah, it- yeah, but to say that it's Rogers' fault and that
No.
Rogers is but a speed bump on the way to what might be a 6-11 season at this point. I don't really know. Um, I know we got like a couple more minutes here. Did you see any positives?
I was going to say if we do winners and losers, my winners this week, just all at one time, are Trey Essex, James Harrison, and Joe Hayden for calling out the trash that's going on in Pittsburgh right now.
I'll take that.
Because Trey let it fly online. He's like,
Yeah,
this is insane.
yeah, and Patrick Queen was kind of subtweeted him back.
Oh, did he? Wow.
And he said something like, "You're a backup. You were carried to and from the bench, whatever, whatever." And I was like, "Dang, that's kind of crazy." And then Trey Essex said, "If that tweet's actually about me, that's fine. He's not wrong." I was like, "Okay, like, all right, yeah." So my winner, I got three. Herbig, he might be our best defensive player, which is
Yeah, I mean
crazy.
he was out there scrapping yesterday. I mean,
I thought Joey actually played well. Joey Porter Jr. He got ran at a lot, and
yeah.
they knew to attack him, but he still made tackles. They may have been like 9 or 10 yards past the line of scrimmage,
Hmm.
but without him, that would have been a 25-yard run.
He gave up or he didn't give up a pass to one of the Buffalo receivers towards the end of the game. I mean, there was probably less than 8 minutes left, and
Hmm.
it might have been a 4th and 1 or something, and he knocked it down, and then he was chest thumping and running his mouth to the other receiver. If I was that, I would have just pointed at the scoreboard. I said,
Yeah,
What are
yeah,
you?
you just
What are you showboating about, man? I mean, come
yeah,
on. I mean, that's just another, no control of the locker room.
yep, yeah. And then my other winner, I think he didn't play, but Derek Carmen. I think the numbers with him and the defensive numbers with him in the lineup versus out of the lineup
Well, yeah,
are really big, and it's pretty bad when one of the winners is a guy who didn't play.
yeah.
But that leads me to my losers, Broderick Jones. He's out for the year for that neck
I
injury.
saw that.
That's tough because he was definitely getting better.
I read that stingers have ended some guys' careers. I
It's
don't know
just
exactly.
any,
Was it just a nerve type thing?
yeah. So I forget who it was, but the Bears defender went up to block the pass,
Uh huh.
and Broderick like almost like caught him, but as the guy came down, he grabbed Broderick's like back of the head. So something in his neck or
Ooh.
spine. I mean,
Oh
that's
no.
that's real dangerous. And so not only just aside from the football part of stuff, that sucks. That sucks for
Yeah.
Broderick. He's getting better. And then from the football side of things, like yeah, we got to decide to pick up his fifth year option or not this year. So
Mhm.
that's big. And then last thing, we have 1 minute here. Shout out to the Zoom free trial. We're not paying for this.
No,
Uh,
not yet.
losers, my hopes and dreams, and all of that encompassing. Yeah. You
Yeah,
got
just
anything else?
no. That's it, man.
Yeah.
It just keeps getting worse. So,
Keeps
but
getting
hey,
worse.
I don't expect it to get better. So they're done. The players are done. The coaches are done. Just let's get the season over with.
Yeah. But we're not done. We will be back
That's
next
right.
week, win or lose. Thank you to all who listened to me rant for 28 minutes today. We're gonna be like Mike Tomlin and we're gonna unleash hell in December. So here we go.
There you go.
Brad and Nick on the Steel Deal. We'll see you next time.
Later.